Hey, enduring name. Back with another Black Ops 2 Emblem creation tutorial. This time, we're going to be focusing on the Baltimore Ravens logo. Now, this is a really tough logo, and even with the version of the logo that I'm going to be doing, the name of the game is going to be Compromise. Meaning I'm going to have to make some compromises when it comes to deciding what to put in the logo and what to leave out. There's just tons of little feathers here and there. There's tons of little like notches that are in the logo, but that are just a little too detailed to get into, and I have to leave those out. Pains me to do that, but you guys probably understand. Anyway, the version of this logo that I'm going to be doing is not the normal Ravens logo that you would see on the side of their helmets or anything, but it is, I believe, an official logo. It is just the version of the logo where the bird is facing you, and it's not the profile version. Uh, the version where the bird is profiled is just way too. It has way too much. Not only do you have to build the bird and the beak and the feathers, but you have to build like the letter B in the middle of his head. Yeah, I wasn't willing to sacrifice that much quality. Like if I'd gone that route, I would have to sacrifice a lot of quality, and it would just look kind of shitty. So going with this version, and even with this version, like I said, I have to make compromises. So beginning the tutorial, right now, just building the beak and trying to get things kind of straightened out in the way I like them. By the way, guys, look at the logo while you're doing it so you can see why I'm making the decisions I'm making. Okay, so basically I'm making a beak, and half the beak is the right half is white, and the other half is black. Right now I have the colors. I have some of the colors as dark gray. That's just so I can see the positioning of my pieces. Later I'm going to change them to black. But right now I just want to position things as close as possible to the way I want them in my final logo. Try to notice that the tool I use for the black part of the beak is the full ninja star, whereas the white is half. And that's because on the right side of the beak, the black should outline the white just a little bit. Alright, there's I guess you could say the inner part of the beak. That's You just make two triangles, and one of them white, one of them black, and lay the black one over the white one, but under the top of the beak, of course, and you have what nearly looks like a finished beak. So right there, that little golden piece I put in place. If you look at the logo, you'll notice that the left half is a little. The left and right half aren't exactly symmetrical. They're essentially, that just creates what you see in the logo, which is two feathers compared to on the right side, there just being kind of one feather or spike. For the tongue, just make a golden triangle, same as the background color, and make it skinnier than the other two triangles. The white triangle that forms the bottom of the beak and the black triangle that forms the bottom of the beak. Make it a lot skinnier than those two. Also, you kind of just saw me being efficient right there and maybe compromising a little. The black triangle that I used, that I put behind the beak and used for outside feathers on the very bottom, that triangle served to make two of those outside feathers, where I might have to use two pieces if I wanted to make those two small little outside feathers curved. I compromised the curvature of those two little pieces and just made a triangle and put it under the beak. And that's where you get those two small little feathers. And that's why I use the triangle too. Just being efficient. So now you see I've laid that purple oval that you began with. I laid it over the black semicircle. Yeah, make sure to do that. Right now I'm just making some adjustments. Just trying to adjust things the way I want them. Okay, this piece right here, I end up adjusting a lot. I like copy and paste it once and use one of those pieces for the other side of his face. But then I'll make some more adjustments and just bear with that. By the way, when I'm making all these adjustments, what I'm trying to do, because I'm so perfectionist, is I'm trying to get the proportions right. And in this case, I'm trying to get the distance between the bottom of the eye, or the top of the eyeshadow, and that semicircle correct. I'm trying to make sure it's not too thick and not too thin. So here I make some more adjustments to those semicircles. I believe I made them a little bit skinnier. Alright, this piece, make sure to put behind the beak and the eyes and whatnot. Make sure to put it on the layer that I put it. That'll just fill in some purple. For this logo, there's more purple on the right side of his face than on the left side. So I have to block some of that purple on the left side out. And again, here's myself making another compromise. Really what's supposed to be on the left side of his face, toward the top that I'm adjusting right now, what's supposed to be there is like a black spike kind of folding to the curvature of that outer purple spike. But there's also supposed to be like a spike going inward. How do I describe it? Like cutting off some of the purple above the raven's left eye, or above the eye to the left. And I'm just going to make a compromise. Just look at the logo. Hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. And by the way, if you haven't thought it was hard up until now, this is probably the hardest part. I had a lot of trouble, I guess not this time, but the first time around I was making this logo, I had a lot of trouble finding the right places for those two pieces. For those two pieces I just changed. Make the second piece a little more elongated than the first piece. So those two black claws make the first one, make the second one a little more elongated. And here, I didn't like when I began logo. I didn't want to use that lightning piece for that white outline, or for that white highlight. Sorry, I didn't want to use that. I knew it was there, but I decided in the end that I had to, and I went for it. Anyway, now I just make a few adjustments, and what we're gonna have left is we're gonna have two layers with which to do several different things. I wish I had like 4 layers so I could get all of these things done, but we only have 2 leftover layers. So what you can do, and I'll show you first, is you can make the nostrils for the bird's beak. There are 2 nostrils, one on the right and left side, and the one on the right side is black, the one on the left side white. So you could make those nostrils, but if you do that, then you're leaving out there are 2 highlights for the eyes. Now I'm about to show you that. And you could have the eye highlights as well. Your choice. But unfortunately, there just aren't enough layers to have both. Also, if you want to get fancy, you can have like 1 eye highlight and 1 nostril. You could do that. But this video is coming to a close. Hopefully, you guys didn't find this too hard. And even if you found it hard, hopefully you got through it.